Hey, okay, sir. Welcome back to Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Well, this isn't too surprising. From what I understand, for the next couple weeks, we're going to be getting Halloween events, or Halloween limited time side quest lines. The first one is a mysterious Halloween party. It says here that Corey is throwing a super mysterious Halloween party, and I'm invited. Solve the mystery in this film noir style mystery to earn your own vintage detective outfit. Well, that's fun. Isn't that fun, everybody? The party is starting up. Hurry up or you'll miss everything. I am here. Do not worry about it. In fact, I would say I'm early. So this looks pretty neat. It's very Halloween-y. Little Halloween over here. It's kind of bare, but this is where the action takes place, I guess. There's the gang! KC, you made it! How could I make something named Corey Hayden's Super Mysterious Halloween Party? Oh yeah, I changed my shirt, by the way. Yeah. I knew adding title to the invitation would draw people in. I also couldn't turn down the opportunity to have a Halloween with my friends. This won't be any ordinary Halloween party, Casey. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve this year. Oh? I'll reveal everything after I finish setting up a few last minute details. Great, let's do it. I figured it was time to get into the Halloween spirit. I like the ghost cupcakes. Everyone seems to have a different idea for what Corey could be planning. Corey said herself that this wasn't an ordinary Halloween party. Exactly. I bet it's some sort of cone bush and persimmons themed party. Corey loves those parks. But Jay thinks we're going to have a special guest, and Talbot thinks we have to solve a puzzle. What do you think is most likely, a themed party, a special guest, or solving a puzzle? What was the summary of this whole event again? I read it, but I don't remember what it was. We have to solve something, didn't they say that? So, puzzle. I think that Talbot is right about having to solve a puzzle of some kind. Corey does love mysteries, so this whole party might require some kind of collaboration to solve a big puzzle. Oh, that sounds interesting. I wonder what it could be. Looks like we're about to find out for sure. I think Corey's getting ready to announce something. I've overheard all of your speculations as to the nature of this party. As promised, I'm ready to reveal what's going on. The super mysterious Halloween party is actually a... Pause for dramatic effect. A murder mystery party. Like I said, that could be fun. What exactly is a murder mystery party, Corey? I'm glad you asked, Casey. I learned about them from some muggle books Professor Sikander loaned me when we were in school. You see, I've outlined the basics of a murder mystery, where all of you are guests at a party. I'll play the part of the host and help guide you all when you get stuck. And the murder? One of you will be playing the role of victim, and someone else would be the murderer. So, we'll be investigating to find out who killed the victim. How do we know who the murderer is? I'll be passing out rule cards to everyone in a moment. Then, you have to use your powers of deduction. Unfortunately, our final guest seems to be running late, so we'll have to get started without him. Everyone gather around, let's get this party started. Whoa! What the? The power went out! Maybe the person who is running late, and this is so obvious, they're the murderer. Should I screenshot this? Sure. Who screamed? Crack. What was that noise? They weren't kidding! Because in the summer they'll like solve this film noir style thing. I kind of had an inkling it might be. That's so neat. So I'm late to the party. Seems like I'm the last guest here. Miss Hayden, I'm ready for my close-up. Wait, where's Penny? Hey, don't ignore me. What's going on? Now's not the time to catch up, Victor. Penny's missing. Could she have run outside? Someone bumped into me just as I came in. There's only one way to find out. Come on, everyone. Let's go look outside for Penny. I really like this touch. I think this is pretty clever. Alright, everyone. As you know, Penny went missing when the lights turned off in the former student center. Victor says someone bumped into him as he was coming into the center. Penny may have been frightened by the lights going out and ran out here, so let's search carefully for her. Let's split up and look for a friend. Search every nook and cranny. Let's do it. So I just wanted to show you something really quickly. And it's, you can't really tell what you're tapping until you actually tap it. Like, for example, it's got the blue outline, but you don't know that until you tap this, right? So if I go over here, that's yellow. I have no idea. It all looks the same to me. Well, we're searching, but I don't know if we found her. There's no sign of Penny out here, and you said you couldn't sense her? It's a vampire thing. I have a superior sense of smell and sight. Right. You're sure someone bumped into you? I'm a vampire, not a ghost. I can tell when someone knocks into me. Uh-huh. By the way, you have a red smear on your face. Oh, that's what that was. I can't believe I walked around like that. It must have totally ruined my aesthetic. You're welcome. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, look. Penny isn't out here. She's got to be somewhere else. I think you're right. Do you think Penny is playing some sort of Halloween trick? She wouldn't do that. Perhaps she is. She could be. But I don't think so. Because rule number one, whenever it comes to some kind of murder mystery or just a mystery thing in general, where it's like a whodunit, it's always the person you least expect, right? They always say that. So if they throw some kind of clue at us early on and throw a lot of information at that, the average person might think it's them. But it's not. So we have to think of somebody that we maybe saw very briefly as we progress, or maybe a name or something. But it's not Penny. I do remember her being pretty straight-laced in school. You know her better than I do, so I'll take your word for it. Penny clearly isn't out here. Let's go back inside to come up with a plan to find Penny. It seems this isn't going to be such a black and white, open and shut mystery after all. Going back to the center, I wonder if everything's just going to take place in this one area. So, we know that Penny isn't in the immediate vicinity outside. Just to be safe, let's do a quick check inside. Let's see if the human presence revealing spell shows us anything. Oh boy. Let's see. Hominum Revelio. We're the only ones here. Penny's not hiding anywhere in the center. Enough of this. Clearly Victor sent something with Hayward. He only showed up after Hayward was gone. I saw the red smear on his face. It must have been blood. Marula. For someone who calls himself the most powerful witch, that sure was a weak accusation. Perhaps a more apt title for you would be the most underwhelming witch. Why you? Stop it! Now's not the time to be fighting when Penny is missing. Before accusing anyone, a good detective will get their version of the events. And that includes Victor. At least someone here can see reason. That doesn't mean you're not a suspect. Tell me why you were late and what happened when you arrived. Good idea. Also, remember what I said? They're throwing all this information that it's Penny, right? And with a smear on your face. Let's see if I got your order of events right. You were late to Corey's party because you were busy. What were you busy with, Kitsuki? I really don't think it's any of your business, Snide. Let us focus on the big picture for now. So, when Victor finally did arrive, the lights were still on. They went out just as I was opening the door to come inside. And that's why you didn't see who bumped into you. Outside, when we were searching for Penny, you said you had superior vision. You said it was a vampire thing. That's right, I can see better than a human. Would you be able to recognize one of us in the dark if we were close enough to you? That's a good question. Because he would have obviously been able to smell her, right? Aha! See? He's been lying. I'm not lying. Press him for more info, KC. That's how we will crack this case open. Suspect Victor. Protect Victor. And we don't want to jump to conclusions now, okay? We'll protect him for now. I'm not going to press him, Marilla. Victor deserves the benefit of the doubt. Thank you, Casey. I promise everything I said was true. I can't believe you're taking his side. Unbelievable. It's not about sides, it's about finding Penny. And we're not going anywhere by pointing fingers at each other without hard evidence. Alright, we have Victor's story for now. Why don't we regroup somewhere else? We don't want to further disturb the scene of Penny's disappearance. And where will we go? We'll go to my flat. From there, we'll see what we can piece together about the night. With all of us working together, we'll find Penny in no time and solve this mystery. Well, that's part 1 done. On to part number 2. You've determined that Penny isn't hiding anywhere nearby, so it's time for a new plan. Where will you search next, and what new information will you uncover? I'm going to assume that everybody is in on it, except for me. I'm in the dark. I just realized I don't think they've all seen my flat yet. You know, I think this is the first time everybody's been together at once. See my new area. Hey Casey, this certainly wasn't a film noir-esque party I was planning. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about. You seemed just as shocked as the rest of us that Penny had disappeared. Well, yeah, of course. So her disappearance wasn't a part of your murder mystery plan? No, not at all. Penny is way too obvious as a choice. She basically screams damsel in distress in a thriller setting. Alright. Thanks for gathering, everyone. I'll try to make this quick so we can get back to searching for Penny. Before we renew our search, I thought we should take a look at all the facts. If we revisit the night, we may stumble upon a clue to Penny's whereabouts. Based on this information, we can deduce the following. The scream we all heard was Corey. She confirmed it herself, which is backed up by Talbot. Sorry for not mentioning it earlier, I was a bit embarrassed. Admonish them, reassure them. It's alright, Corey. What matters is that we know now. I was so worried you'd be angry. Why would I be angry? That you screamed? It's just, well, I hadn't even thought about that it was important. It may not be, but you never know. It, at the very least, solves one mystery. Next, according to Talbot, we know that no one was acting strangely leading up to the lights going out. I was already against going to a party, so I spent my time watching everyone else instead. I remember seeing you by yourself when I came into the party, just before I spoke to Corey. Jay said that when the lights came back on, the only one who moved was Marula. Are you sure about that, Jay? I guess so. That's something I noticed too. Marula hadn't moved that far though. Right, but you were next to Penny and said she didn't notice anyone out of the ordinary when the lights went out. Seems suspicious to me. And finally, Victor walked inside just as the lights went out. Then, someone bumped into him in the dark. We thought it was Penny, and as far as we know, we should keep up working on the assumption. So, we have a decent timeline of the events that happened. I think our next course of action should be splitting up to find Penny. We should check the places Penny frequently visits the most, like her flat, and the apothecary. And St. Mungo's. If she's gotten injured, she may have gone there to receive treatment. Sounds like a plan. Let's split up into teams. Badie and I will go to Penny's flat. She asked me to water her plants once, so I know where her spare key is. Then, Jane and I will go to the apothecary. I know the owner, so I can definitely get us inside. That means Victor, Marilla, and I will go check on St. Mungo's. Alright everyone, let's go try and find Penny. I like the plan. Split up to cover more ground. That's strange. I've never seen a St. Mungo's lobby so empty before. Even the welcome witch isn't here. What is this? One of those films noir Professor Sakanda would rave about? It's okay to admit that you find empty hospital spooky, Marilla. I didn't say anything of the sort. I didn't even think it. What do you think, KC, are empty hospitals spooky? They're pretty scary, they're not scary at all. I think any building can be a little creepy, especially if you're alone and it's at night. Like a security guard, I guess. I agree that they are pretty scary, especially when you know that someone is supposed to be here. If you get scared, which I know you will, you can hide behind me. Perks of dating the most powerful witch. Aw, thanks, Marilla. Don't thank me. I'm just making sure you don't do anything stupid because you're scared witless. How sickeningly sweet. Shut up, Katsuki. No one asked for your opinion. Like I said though, it is strange that no one is here. You seem quite familiar with St. Mungo's. I first came here as part of the student program at Hogwarts. The hospital is a big place, so we need to narrow down the areas we should search first. What if, when the lights went out, I fell and hit my head or something, so I'm dreaming the whole thing? Or is that too obvious? You think it would be, obviously, but I don't know. Who even knows? Ugh. I knew we'd get an 8-hour quest eventually. so I'm gonna guess that she's not here. We've narrowed it down to 3 areas: the alchemy room, the patient's room, and the hospital wards. Marilla, I want you to search the patient rooms. And try not to disturb anyone, alright? Believe it or not, Casey, I'm perfectly capable of being nice to people. Victor, you should search the hospital wards. As a vampire, I think you can cover a lot of ground quickly. Faster than either of you. Show off. And finally, I'll search the alchemy room. If I run into a healer, it'll be less suspicious if I'm found there. On account of having done some work in there before. Sounds like a plan to me. Brilliant. Let's agree to meet up here when we finish our searching. Let's see if we can find any traces of Penny. I'm hoping like footprints and not body parts. That would be nice. Victor! Sorry I didn't mean to stall you. I wasn't scared. You frightened me. I hate surprises. You frightened me. You really frightened me, Victor. Well, I already apologized. Not sure what more you want me to do. Still, I didn't mean to creep up on you like that. Speaking of, why are you here? You should be searching the hospital wards. You probably did it already because you're so fast. You better have a good explanation for following me to the alchemy room. I do. There's something I wanted to tell you. So, the reason you were late to the party was because you had to stop to get the blood-filled lollipops. That's right. Corey had promised to get me some, but you ran out of time while preparing. And then some of the candy melted in your pocket, which is where the red smear on your face came from. Why are you telling me this now? I realized I had been vague when I was saying I was running an errand. I wanted to clear that up. I thought it might help my case that I had nothing to do with Penny's disappearance. Do you believe what I've said about why I was late to Corey's party? Yes? No. You really should have said it earlier, instead of dragging it about, but I believe him. Yes, I believe you. Your story makes perfect sense, and I don't see a reason why you'd vanish Penny. I wouldn't. Penny and I are friends. I just wanted to let you know before Marilla started throwing around more baseless accusations. I know that I haven't been part of your friend group for very long. So, I'm sorry if I've been dodging questions and acting defensive. I'm not super used to this. Thank you for telling me why you were late, but you really should tell the others as well. We're supposed to rejoin the others soon. If we don't find Penny here, we ought to go to the former student center. We need to gather alibis. And I think I said this earlier on in the video that everything is going to take place in this area. Hey! We're back to normal. Interesting. So is it going to go back to black and white? It is. I think they might have messed that up. Or maybe it's only black and white if my character's in that area. So wherever I go, the black and white follows. To start things off, Penny wasn't at St. Mungo's. We searched the alchemy room, the hospital wards, and the patient rooms, but we found no signs of her. She also wasn't at her flat. Tab and I even asked her flatmate if Penny had come by, but they said no. No sign of her at the apothecary either. The owner said Penny hadn't been in since her shift ended. I see. Look, if we're going to find Penny, we need more information. To that end, I want to gather everyone's alibis about what they were doing in the dark. But if it's dark, there's no way to confirm what anyone says. It's a good point, Jay. Jay's right. Any of us could be the one who took Penny. And who's to say that Corey isn't lying about this being part of the murder mystery game? True. Defend Corey, agree with Jay. That's enough. You don't need to gang up on Corey like that. Just like with Victor, we give everyone a fair chance to explain themselves. Thanks, Casey. Oh, come on. Jay is right, though, about not being able to confirm anyone's alibis. So, we'll let it go. Corey, why don't you tell us about what your plan was for the murder mystery? Yeah. If it'll help you clear up any suspicion, then I'll tell you whatever you want. Pay close attention, because this is a gripping mystery that I wrote. That is a good point, actually. They're covering every base that I can think of. Which is why I'm thinking this may not even be real. I bonked my head in the dark, and when I got up, you know, all that jazz. Badia wasn't supposed to be the murder mystery victim? Yes, Corey and I discussed it beforehand. The plan for me was to drink a sleeping potion to feign death. That way I wouldn't give away anything. Yeah. And Penny was going to be my killer. That doesn't really mean that you didn't change plan to throw us off. Yeah. I'm not lying. I'll even drink Verita serum if I have to. Funny you should mention that. I actually have a vial of Verita serum and antidote on me. Give it here. I'll prove my innocence right away. How do you feel, Corey? Equal parts terrified and excited. This is way better than any mystery I could have written. Alright, what was Penny's role in the murder mystery? She was supposed to be my killer. Who would have expected a sweet and kind popular girl? Originally, she was supposed to be the victim. Unfortunately, she saw an early draft of my script, so I changed the victim to Badia. Are you behind the disappearance of Penny Hayward? No, I'm not. And that's the antidote. Well, that eliminates Corey as a suspect. That just leaves everyone else. Sorry, you'll have to figure it out the old-fashioned way. I haven't got any more Verita serum on me. The real mystery is why you would have had any to begin with. Not that I'm complaining, since it cleared my name. It's not time to hang up on a detective hat just yet. Ooh, it's a note. What's this? It's a note. Addressed to Penny. What does it say? Hold on, I gotta get a good screenshot. It's badly burnt, but I can make out something about it disappearing. I'm going to need handwriting samples from all of you. There's enough legible writing in this note to compare it against all of your handwriting. If I can find out who wrote this note, then I can find out what happened to Penny. I thought it looked a little weird. Like, I thought it might be burnt, but I wasn't sure if that was just like a glitch or something. So part 2 is done. I am halfway done. Aren't you proud of me? On to part number 3. You've been able to find Penny, so it is time to turn to analyzing what little evidence you've gathered. Somewhere in there may be the key to her disappearance. So onward we go to, I guess, analyzing everybody's handwriting. Looks like I'm all alone. Never mind. KC, Fancy seeing you here. Olivia, what are you doing here? I could be asking you the same thing. I figured you'd have some spooky Halloween adventure. Not here in the ROCC lab, hunched over some scraps of paper like some sort of old-timey detective. What exactly are you doing here, KC? Has something happened? Tell her about Penny, lie on stage for work, distract her with a joke. I'm going to tell the truth. Well, actually, I was at a Halloween party and Penny went missing.
Oh.
What? I found this burnt note addressed to Penny, so I'm comparing it to other handwriting of other party guests. And if you match it to the party guest, they don't know who sent it. And who knows what Penny might be. Brilliant idea, Casey. Does some first-rate detective work. Thank you, Olivia. I just hope I'm able to find Penny and solve this mystery. Let me help you out. I need a break from what I'm working on. Are you sure? I also want to make sure Penny is found. Besides, we could pretend to be some sort of hard-boiled detectives in those Muggle films I watched with Elton. Then, I'll take you up on your offer. You can help me compare these handwriting samples. It's very important that I find a match. Let's not waste any more time then. It's time to get analyzing. It's Elton! Elton Elderberry is the killer. Can you imagine? We checked and rechecked all the handwriting samples against the burnt note, but none of them match. It seems whoever wrote that note isn't one of your party guests. But if the handwriting doesn't match anyone who's at the party, then who wrote the note? Perhaps it doesn't have anything to do with Penny vanishing? If it doesn't, then why would it mention her disappearing? You've got a lot of questions to answer, Detective. I have more than answers, that's for sure. You know what you need? A good old-fashioned evidence board with red string, just like the movies. That may help to contextualize everything. How think I'll do just that? Thanks for your help, Olivia. If you need any more help, just let me know. I will, but for now, I need to sit down with some others familiar with investigations to figure out my next move. I need to get together with Corey and Talbot to start an evidence board. Let's get that board. Thanks for agreeing to help me with all this. It wouldn't be the first evidence board I've helped set up. In that case, I'm glad to have you here to help set things up. Of course. He's got a very majestic set of hair, doesn't he? Let's get started then. We've got a lot of evidence to pin up and not a lot of time. I'd also like to get your takes on who the culprit may be and what their motivation is. These 8-hour quests are killers! And not the killer that could possibly be after Penny. The other type of killer. Time. So based on our timeline of events, we've eliminated you, Medea, and Jay as suspects. None of you had the motive or opportunity to commit the crime. That just leaves me, Victor, and Marula. I think we can rule you out, Casey. You wouldn't be trying so hard to find Penny if you did this. Then that leaves Victor and Marula. What are your thoughts, Talbot? Hey, there's a cat back there. Is that my cat? I think it would be, actually. Yeah, this is still my flat. See, this is the next day, so I don't remember. There are still too many unknown factors. But if I had to go with my gut, I would say Marula. She had the perfect motivation. The perfect motivation. Do you have any thoughts on what that might be? Her mean-spiritedness, her history with Corey, her inability to make friends. She can be kind of mean. And yes, I know that it says level 60, yes, look at my stats, but I'm really trying to upgrade it. It's just so slow. I say this all the time, but I am trying. Is it a natural mean-spiritedness? She's not always the nicest person. You could say it's related to that. I've noticed lately, though, that she's been less harsh to everyone. Good point. What I was thinking was her history with Corey. They get along like needles and crops. They've been that way since school. I see. So you think Marilla took this opportunity to ruin Corey's party? That's right. What better way to annoy someone you dislike than to ruin their carefully planned party? Wait, this board just reminded me of something. Our timeline isn't totally complete in the events leading up to Penny's disappearance. What did you remember, Talbot? It was before you arrived, but our timeline starts after you arrived. Corey and Marilla were arguing loudly. Penny was trying to calm them down. Well, how convenient that we don't know that. Apparently, Corey invited Marilla as a peace offering, so Marilla wouldn't feel left out. Let me guess, Marilla overheard that and threw a fit. She did, and accused Corey of inviting her out of pity. It was loud and unpleasant. Of course, I don't want to discount the fact that I find Victor's story odd. The errand he was running couldn't have made him as late as he was, especially since he can apparate. Oh, that's true, he can. He told me he was getting blood-flavored lollipops from Honeydukes. Victor hates being in Honeydukes. He wouldn't spend any more time in there than he had to. That doesn't mean that he wasn't late to picking up the lollipops. But now that I'm thinking about it, I never actually did see those lollipops or test the smear on his face. He said they melted in his pocket. Oh, yeah, that's right, he did too as well. Boy, I forget everything. Lollipops aren't going to melt in someone's pocket, KC. Well, that's true. But I mean, these are blood-filled lollipops or whatever the heck they're supposed to be. So I don't know if they're different than regular Muggle lollipops. The next time I see him, I'm going to ask him those lollipops. The next time I see him, I'm going to ask him to see those lollipops. Man, my recording stopped on me. So all of you are not going to be able to see what I saw. And that was somebody in like a robe. But you couldn't tell who was in the robe. I took the screenshot. It's probably going to be my thumbnail, but it's not in the video now. So that's great. But whatever. We'll see them again, I'm sure. We have to go after them. They could have something to do with Penny. Corey, stay here. Let's go. We've got to catch whoever was looking in the hall. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see the dark figure again. See, what happens is I use AirPlay, and what ends up happening is sometimes the recording just suddenly stops, but then I'm not paying attention that it had stopped, because I'm looking down on my iPad, so that by the time I look up, I'm like, oh wait, when did it actually stop? Well, how convenient. Marilla, were you the one looking in my hallway? First of all, I do not lurk. I'm not some shady villain in a noir film. Secondly, I just got here. I wanted to check in on the investigation. Why do I get a feeling that you don't believe me? I do believe you, that's because I don't. I believe you. It's too obvious it'd be Marilla. Actually, I do believe you. Good, because it's the truth. It doesn't seem like you're lying. Did you see a dark figure come through here, Marilla? The only people I've seen are you two. Gotta tell her it's really empty right now. Can't believe you choose this neighborhood. But since I have you here, I have some questions I wanted to ask you. You're really playing into this hardboiled detective role. I want to find Penny. That means working every angle of the case. Now about those questions. So the reason you moved around in the dark was because you dropped your wand. I was, perhaps just a bit startled. Corey did scream, after all, and it was suddenly dark. And when you went to retrieve your wand, you felt a gust of air and heard the crackling of a noise. That has to be a clue. I agree. Brilliant. Now that we have all this squared away... One more question, Marilla. Fine. Why did you have your wand out? It was dark, Casey. I was going to cast Lumos. Blimey, you could be so dense sometimes. It is a valid question. Marilla, why didn't you mention any of this before? Oh please, like I would tell Hayden and everyone else that I dropped my wand because I got startled. Corey's trying to be friends with you. You should give her a chance. And give her the satisfaction? Never. Let's just go back inside. You might as well help us finish with our evidence board, especially now that we have your testimony to add. We're going to find Penny, if it's the last thing we do. Alrighty, I'm feeling much better. Let's finish the evidence board. Yes, let's do that. No fighting, you two. We're here to finish working on this evidence board. Then we're going to find Penny. Now where do we leave off? Thud. 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 What the heck is that? Hold your ground. Hey everyone, I got the message.
Huh?
What's going on? Why are all your wands drawn? Penny? Casey, it feels like it's been so long since we last saw each other. Reprimand her, hug her, question her. Question her! Penny? What happened? Are you alright? Yeah, I'm doing just fine. I'm glad I'm in time for the reveal? The reveal? And you mentioned a message earlier. What message are you talking about?
Huh?
The one that said the murder mystery party was almost over and it was time to reveal the killer. And it told you to come here? I don't know, that's what it said. I'm just following the directions. It was just like the one I got before the party that told me to apparate when the lights went out? Penny, I think you need to start from the beginning and tell us exactly what is going on. I'm so confused. So, she got a message before the party, and it said to apparate when the lights go out, so she did that. Then she gets another message just now, and the directions tell her to go back. And it says that we have to figure out the reveal or something of the killer? So if it's not Penny, who else is missing? Because there also was Chiara and a few other people they were mentioning as well. And it goes back to what I was saying also, where sometimes it's the person you least expect, right? Remember they were saying that, oh, some of the people couldn't make it today. And Chiara was one of the names, a few other people as well. And then that's it. You haven't heard anything from them after that, in terms of bringing them up. Which is why it could be them. Dang, I'm so smart. Let me get this straight. Before Corey's party, you got a message by the owl that told you that you would be the murder mystery victim. That's right. It said to apparate somewhere unexpected when the lights went out. Penny, did you try to burn that message at the former student center? Well, yeah, it also said to do that. The owl letter wasn't from Corey. I analyzed the handwriting myself.
Huh?
Huh? Can I see the message you just got? I'd like to check it. I think I can say fairly confidently that this handwriting matches the burnt notes. Which doesn't match Corey's handwriting. So, this whole time you and everyone else thought I was just missing? Oh, Merlin. I'm so sorry, Casey. Someone tricked you, Penny. There's no need to be sorry for that. Now that Penny's here, I think it's time to put this mystery to rest. And to reveal who the real culprit is behind this whole Halloween party. We're getting close, I think. There's only one more quest left. I found Penny, or rather, she found you. It is time to wrap up this noir mystery and reveal the culprit. That is, if you know who the culprit is. The thing is, there's just so many moving parts in this because we have so many friends. And there's still so many friends that are not at the party either, which makes me suspicious of them. But it's time to find out who the killer is. Thank you for gathering, everyone. As you can see, Penny's back. I wanted to take a moment to lay out all of the evidence I've gathered and get your thoughts on the matter. And of course, it's got to be an 8-hour quest. We have a lot of evidence. I guess that would be the reason for the long quest, right? So as it stands, the series of events is as follows. Before the party, Penny received an owl message that told her she was a murder mystery victim. It told me to disappear when the lights went out. The easiest way to disappear was to separate. Right, and just as Corey was ready to start the murder mystery, the lights went out. That gave me the fright of my life. Unbeknownst to us, Victor had just arrived. He was outside and about to come in when the lights went out. I had finished my errands at Honeyduke's. The red smear on my face was a melted blood-flavored lollipop. Those blood-flavored lollipops are something I'll return to just in a moment. Back inside, it's dark, and we hear a crack, and Marilla feels a rush of air after she fumbled with her wand. I did not fumble it, I dropped it. I was trying to cast Lumos since it was dark, and I felt the rush of air of Penny apparating. That's another thing we're going to get back to, you casting Lumos. Now after that, the light came back on and Penny was missing. Everything after that, you know what happened. Although, I should mention that none of the handwriting samples matched the burnt note I found. They also didn't match the note Penny received telling her to come to my flat. If I ever write a story about a whip-smoked detective, I'll be thinking of you the entire time, Casey. Thank you, Corey. But I'm not done yet. The way I see it, we have 3 main suspects, so let's go through their motivations. First, there's Victor Kitsuki. You claim that you went to Honeyduke's to pick up some blood-flavored lollipops. That's because I did. Victor, it is highly unlikely that a lollipop would melt in your pocket. Can you please show me those melted lollipops? That's what I thought. Not to mention that your story of someone bumping into you makes no sense, since you know Penny apparated. And speaking of apparating, there's no reason for you to have been as late as you were. I know from Talbot that you can apparate. You could have gone from Honeyduke's to here instantaneously. So that begs the question, what really made you late, Victor? Moving on, a second suspect is Marilla Snide. Oh, come on. Just before I arrived, you had a fight with Corey, didn't you? That's not even evidence of anything, Casey. Corey and I fight whenever we're in the same room. And if you were saying that's my motivation, then may I point out that Penny received the message before the party. You're right, she did. I don't like the way you're smiling. Everyone knows that you and Corey have a complicated relationship. That's motivation enough to ruin something that she planned. Plus, you mentioned that you had your wand out to cast Lumos. That gave you away, Marilla. What? you can use wandless magic. If your wand had rolled away, you still could have cast Lumos, and your wand would have been lit from wherever. That's... And our final suspect, who I'm not sure no one suspected, Penny Hayward. What? Think about it, Penny. No one else's handwriting matches those notes. We only have your word that you received them by the owl. There's really no proof that you didn't write those notes yourself and orchestrate this whole thing as an elaborate trick. But I didn't even know it was a murder mystery party until I got the first notes. That is where you're wrong, Penny. Well, on the effects of Virtus Serum, Corey said that you saw an early draft of her script. That's right. You asked me about the title too, which was Murder Mystery Party. I would say that as proof that you could have orchestrated this whole thing from the beginning. The real question, though, is why? Mulan's spirit, Casey. Your deductive reasoning is out of this world. You just need a trench coat and a hat, and you'll be like those noir detectives. Perhaps I'll get an outfit after this is over. Right now, though, it is time to reveal the culprit of this Halloween trick. Because that's what our reward's actually going to be. It's a detective outfit. Breaking the fourth wall. Well, who do you think it is? Victor? Marula? Penny? You know what? They actually all make pretty good cases. Victor doesn't make the most sense, honestly, because he can apparate instantaneously. That's just what he does. Marula, maybe she never thought to use Wallace magic at the time, because it happened so fast. And Penny, even though it is possible that it could be Penny, is Penny the type of person to do this sort of thing? Not really. So, I'm also going to go with Victor, because also the thing with the lollipop too, and he wouldn't show the melted lollipop. The culprit is Victor Katsuki. Your reasoning is certainly sound, Casey. Unfortunately, I had nothing to do with the lights going out. Yeah, so? But I did help Penny disappear. You see, I wasn't lying when I said someone bumped into me. What I did lie about was I didn't know who it was, and also where it was. So, someone didn't bump into you in the dark? I actually kind of panicked when the lights went out. I only operated just to go outside. That is what Penny bumped into me. Well, more like fell into me. I told him I had to hide from the guests. I figured he was the last party guest. I see. Is that where Honeydukes comes in? I told her to operate there and I'd check on her later. It happened all in the span of a few seconds. I made him promise not to tell anyone he had seen me. Once I knew it was a murder mystery party, I figured this was all a part of Corey's plans. I thought this was just my role in the game. I can't shake the feeling that something isn't adding up. Someone must have orchestrated this whole thing, and it doesn't seem like it was any of us. So, who was it? Marula! It's not me, I swear. Heh heh heh. This is the same handwriting as the other notes. It just says, Happy Halloween? It was Dumbledore! He did it! He's a prankster at his age. Well, that doesn't tell us anything. Who was it? Leaving us on a cliffhanger, so now we don't actually truly know. It's all about, oh, leave it up to your imagination. Well, I disagree. Well, unless I'm missing something and it flew over my head, which it probably did, I don't think they revealed who it was. It's time to see this outfit that we got. Should be a detective outfit, I believe. Let's see. What does it even look like? I'm not sure. I just read that it is a detective outfit. I guess so. I just think of Sherlock Holmes with like the hat and everything. He doesn't have the hat, so it's alright, I guess. I'll just stick with what I've got because it's Halloween. So yeah, that is it. That is the entire walkthrough for this Halloween limited time side quest, the Murder Mystery Party. That was really, really good. I loved the whole black and white thing. That was a really good touch. And it did keep me guessing throughout the whole thing. Like, I did not have a clue who it really was, like, for sure. I still don't, to be honest. Like I said, I think either A, it's just going over my head and they just reveal it and I'm dumb, or they're leaving it up to imagination, like some kind of like Inception thing. Is it spinning? Is it falling over? I don't know. Let me know down below though, what did you think of this whole side quest line? Subscribe for more Harry Potter Hogwarts mystery videos, and I will see you moving forward with more in the game in the very near future. Bye everybody.